Have you? Yeah. Why have you done that?
Because
you like it?
It's in. It's right. It's in. We're all good.
What was that noise?
That's why I'm tired.
Good afternoon. Actually, it's a fine afternoon, Joe. Here, actually,
it's lovely.
This is one of those occasions where we are incredibly glad we have air conditioning now in the new studio.
Yeah.
The heating was kind of okay-ish in the winter, but we didn't really need it.
No.
But it's fucking warm outside.
Yeah, we never had a problem where we were too cold.
No, because of filming lights, etc.
Yeah.
Is my microphone moved? Or is it
Yeah, we were always like sort of quite warm. As like jumpers were on and off all the time.
Yeah, because filming lights and stuff, it gets warm. But often we had occasions where we were too hot. And now it's beautiful outside. We walked to the shop and back for lunch.
Yeah.
And we both had a bit of a sweat on. And we're sat here in a lovely air-conditioned studio.
Yeah.
I'm really proud.
Lovely.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Tuesday afternoon. And I think if you joined us last night for the Great Hall Hobby Hangout where we didn't do any hobby, I think YouTube's fixed. Evan, thank you so much for the gifted. YouTube broke last night. A ton of people have said to me that they super chatted and it never came through. I did some checks this morning. There's a bunch of them that aren't showing on my system anywhere. And one individual in particular who put quite a large super chat through, he has been charged for it and it hasn't come through.
Oh.
So if you're an individual, I just want to say this quickly now, if you're an individual that tried to do something yesterday like super chat or gift, please, if you're not sure if it came through, let me know. And if it didn't, I can check specifically for super chats. I don't think I can check for gifted. But if it didn't come through, I'll let you know. And you can go back to Google and be like, what the fuck? Because what happens at that point is YouTube takes the money and we don't get it. So you've just paid Google, which is obviously not what people want to do. No. So let me, if you are one of those people who tried super chatting last night or thought you successfully super chatted last night, please let me know if you haven't got a refund notification, but it never came up on the screen because the likelihood is it was broken. YouTube literally shit the bed last night. I was on Down Detector having a quick look, and not the one I use for you, Down Detector, there's no S in it, and it spiked through the roof. Absolutely, it spiked through the roof. There was so many reported issues. Anyway, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit all those magical YouTube buttons. Hit the like button if you like the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we go live or drop a new video. Also, if you want to be notified when we schedule a video so you know when it's coming, you become a member of the Great Hall. Get yourself in Discord, !Discord if you haven't already. You can become a member all by yourself, or you can hope that one of the beautiful people in the chat gifts one, like Mr. the
Evan Tominello and Simon Swindale.
Thank you so much for the 5 gifted, Simon. Yeah. You're an absolute legend. If you get gifted one, you can also go into the Discord. You can link your YouTube account to a Discord account. It unlocks everything for you. Even if you haven't bought the membership yourself, because you've been gifted one, you get all those membership perks. 5% extra discount in the merchandise store, early access to podcast episodes. One was late. I explained last night why it's late. Sounds like the edit's been finished today by our new editor. That's much faster. So hopefully we'll have that one up on Monday. 5 days early access for Skull Tier members with Mr. the Vince from Pleasant Kenobi. Then it'll go live to everybody else after the fact. Good. Right, today is the Liam and Joe AoS show. Currently, actually, it's our only dedicated AoS show in a moment.
Yeah.
And what we were doing was reading through the faction focuses and looking at all the things that GW have been announcing, and it was kind of a bit shit.
Yeah.
It was. I felt reading it, I was like, this isn't great content. I'm reading a Warcom page that you guys can read, and then kind of trying to interpret it. And Joe and I have to be really careful what we do and don't say, blah, 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 blah. So I thought it was a bit nonsense. So I wanted to pick a different topic today. It was AoS relevant.
Yeah.
And the reason why I've gone for today's topic, Joe, is because of our experience around this time last year.
Yes.
So there's a ton of real positive coming out of Warcom about New Age of Sigmar. Of course there is, it's their new gaming system.
Yeah.
We've been and tried it, and we're both excited about it. It's their new gaming system, and we were showcased by the team. That being said, I also had that same experience with the 40k team. had a briefing, had some instruction, played a game, was taught all the new stuff, right, etc., etc., etc. So I've literally been through the exact same process. And when 10th edition came out, if you go back and look at some of the stream titles, you don't even have to watch the stream, but look at some of the stream titles pre-10th edition's launch, I was incredibly positive about 10th edition because of the experience I'd had, the hype from Warcom, the fact that it's a new edition and it's exciting, and the fact that I'd had an experienced day with the 40k team, right? And I've just sat there and thought, this is happening all over again.
Yeah.
This is the same process. So my concern is, or my fear potentially actually is, not necessarily a concern, more of a fear, that this could be history repeating itself. AoS 4 could launch. We're putting, as you know, we're putting a ton of time, effort and money into it to get it ready to go. And potentially it could go and be a flop.
Well, last time, you were the only one that played it.
True, absolutely, yeah.
Right. And
it was the first time I'd ever had that kind of experience. I think I got a little bit, what's the word, swept up in the fact that I had that behind the scenes
you weren't
experience.
really enjoying 9th edition at all. Like, you were a bit done with it, and you had only ever played it, so you're like, any change is a good change in your situation. You were like, it can't get any worse. How wrong you were. Because you hadn't played, you hadn't played all the factions in different scenarios and situations. You just kind of did the one game.
Yeah.
Whereas we both experienced it this time. We were coming at it with fresh eyes, so to speak, because you'd had one game of Age of Sigmar.
Not even a game, really. We played 2 rounds.
I played a couple games before, and I come in from a case of I was learning to play this version of the game, 3rd edition, and I was enjoying it, but some of the stuff was a bit shaky.
Yeah.
And then going in to learn 4th, I was like, this makes so much more sense. It's so much easier to pick up. But whether it was a case of it was easier to learn because I'd already done 3rd, I could kind of go like, oh, I like this, it's better than that one, it's therefore. But then at the same time, I'm like, the reason I struggled with 3rd was because there's all these extra things. Those extra things aren't barring the way now. So,
well, as far as we know.
My biggest thing that I wanted to change from 3rd to 4th was how the order of things are done.
Okay.
When things activate, like in the command phase, currently it's a bit of you do this, you do this, you do this, and the thing that you do here is relevant to the thing that goes at the beginning.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's more streamlined and actually makes sense. It's not simplified, therefore simple.
I think that phrase is haunting them, quite frankly.
It just makes sense.
Rob Paul, thank you for the gifted, man. What a legend.
Thank you, Rob Paul. No, I'm really looking forward to it. And we've got a lot of armies like coming in that like we're going to be able to use on the table. And it's a change of pace as well.
So I don't want to misinform. I am looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to it to a point where if content falls on its arse for whatever reason, I actually likely am still going to want to keep playing it, even if we're not making content out of it as a hobby. Just even without it being a professional capacity, just as it being a hobby, because I think from what I've seen so far, I am really excited about it. But I just sort of sat back and was like, I felt this way with 10th. And I was really hyped for 10th, and the design language was really positive. I think that the AoS did a better job with the presentation of the new version to me, or to us, than they did when I had 40k presented to me. But I just sort of sat back a little bit and was like, there's just a little bit of trepidation. And I was like, I've been through this.
I think what we've learnt, though, from 10th edition is that 10th edition is the tournament edition. If that makes sense. It's more aimed at easy learning access, better to play quickly in an event style.
But are any of those things true?
Like, in terms of how the mission pack works.
Easy to play, is it true? Is it easy to play only once you've read all the FAQs and read the...
it's easy to learn to play.
Okay.
10th edition.
But it's easy to play.
It's easy to play if you know nothing about the game.
I'm not sure about that.
Right? It's easy to play in the sense that, like, if you just take the models that you've got from the box set, say you buy the starter box set of Space Marines and Tyranids, and then you buy, I don't know, the combat patrols for each faction. And you bash them on the table, and you can play with those and have fun because the rules are simplified, not simple, kind of thing. But when you actually start to expand on that and do look at, like, well, what I want to do with here, and then you start going into events or going to your local clubs, the game is horrifically complicated and a bit of a drudge, because you go to your local club and you go, oh, cool, I've got like 2,000 points, I built it, I've had like 1 or 2 games with my mate, and then you go, cool, I'm going to do this, and your opponent's like, no, you can't do that. You're like, why not? It's like, because that was changed in the FAQ, and you go, cool, to the website, okay, which FAQ is it? You go, oh, is it in the one for my Space Marines? You're like, no. Okay, is it the one for chapter approved? No. It's in the like rule book FAQ kind of thing. And you're like, oh, it's just a nightmare to find stuff.
Do you think it's easier, potentially, to get AoS rules more correct?
Yes.
And what I mean by more correct is twofold. I think that, first of all, I think there's less variables in terms of the shooting phase isn't quite so prevalent. You don't have like Titan killing guns and stuff that exist in Age of Sigmar.
I think,
you also don't really have Titan kind of models. I mean, you could argue that Alariel, Nagash, etc. are in those realms at the kind of points values that they are.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they have as many variables in terms of shooting and power weapons and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's much easier to have a much kind of tighter grouping for statistics and hits and wounds.
Because you only really have movement phase, charge phase, fight phase.
And I also wonder if because the narrative now in Age of Sigmar, at least, is very much a GW narrative. That's, I think, if we could argue it's out a decade near enough.
Yeah.
I think we could argue it's still kind of in its infancy.
Yeah.
So I think there's less of an expectation as to what a Space Marine, like compared to what a Space Marine should be, compared to what a Custodian should be, compared to what an Aldari should be.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that also makes their life slightly easier, because they can go, you know what, the narrative is still kind of in its infancy, so we can sort of tweak and change what these things are supposed to be and how they're supposed to...
Yeah, and also you've got to think how people within Games Workshop, people external to Games Workshop, perceive how things are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right? So I've banged this drum for ages, right? Chaos Terminators, right? Does my head in. Why have they got exactly what's in the box, and yet other stuff within that codex isn't limited to what's in the box?
It's so bad now, chat. It's so bad now that on meetings with Games Workshop, every single time Joe's there, he asks the question, and the community manager just starts giggling because it's like, anyone got any questions? And Joe puts his little hand up and he's like, I fucking know what he's going to ask.
I'll wait for everyone to leave this time. So the thing is, though, writing rules for new released units is going to be easier for Games Workshop to do than ones pre-existing, because people have perceived ideas on how they should be.
Okay.
Right? So if you look at Space Marines, right? Because it's easier for everyone to kind of understand. New intercessors are new, in the grand scheme of things. They came out in 8th edition.
New intercessors are new.
New intercessors are new.
Breaking news, chat.
And they fit the Horus Heresy kind of format of everyone in the unit has the same weapon, and that unit has a very specific role on the table.
Do you like that, though?
I'm not against it, because it streamlines things and they can have two, like they can have like a grenade launcher unit, or the sergeant's got a power fist, right? Whereas when you look at something like the Tactical Squad, which has been around since 2nd edition, right? They've always had a sergeant, a special weapon, a heavy weapon.
And it might be because familiarity, but I prefer that.
Yeah, right. And then if you look at
hey, Daryl.
Right, you look at these units, and so if Games Workshop came up now and was like, by the way, Tactical Marines all have bolt guns now. Devastator squads can only take 4 of the heavy weapon. They can't have a missile launcher, a las cannon, a heavy bolter, a plasma cannon. They tried to streamline it to make it more balanced. And
why do they need to? Why do they need to?
I think this is the reason why AoS works a bit better, right? All the units have essentially the same weapon. A ranged weapon all has bows, the same bows.
Sometimes the champion has a slightly different
Sometimes you might have a fancy one, right?
Or 1 in 3.
A combat unit all has swords and shields, or the whole unit has heavy weapons. You very rarely have a mix of the two, right? And that creates it easier to write rules for around balance, because those things have very specific things. But you see it more in other, like Necrons are easier to balance in Space Marine, because in Necron units.
I mean, I think. So I don't disagree with. I don't 100% disagree with what you're saying in principle, but they made their own bed of nails here.
Yeah.
So do you know how it's easier to balance a tactical squad with a heavy bolter and a plasma gun? You have individual points for the weapons. And when you do that, it's easy to balance it. The reason why it's hard to balance it right now, AoS, the reason why the point system works in AoS and people in AoS doesn't really complain too much about the point system is because of exactly what you've just said. Yeah. So if you have a unit of 10 archers, they've all got bows and arrows, jobs are good and that's it, right? But if you have a similar unit in 40k, you might have a las cannon and a flamer and then 7 bolt guns and a plasma pit. Like, you might actually have that.
Yeah.
And you know what? When that unit could take a las cannon and it could take a plasma cannon and it could take a heavy bolter and it could take a missile launcher, you've got to pick one of the 4. The only way you actually really balance that well is by having individual points values for each of those weapons.
Yeah.
Because there is no other way you do it. Because at the moment, what are we seeing in 10th edition? Well, this is the better weapon choice. So this is what everybody is taking in every single unit.
Yeah, it's like Games Workshop keep on hitting Kassakin with points increases.
Yeah.
They're up to like 120 points, I think they're up to now. And I'm like, why? They're not that good. But then I didn't build them with 2 melter guns, 2 plasma guns, or 2 sniper rifles, because at the time when I built them, all the things in the unit had an associated points cost.
Exactly.
So I was like, everyone's got a hot shotgun, and then 2 hot shot volley guns keeps the unit basic, right? And now you can have everything. It's like my unit when I built it is now much worse than what they can be now.
Yeah.
And I'm paying a tax for the.
You are absolutely you're paying a tax
for the new.
It's the same with your Death Company.
Yeah.
What's the hotness for Death Company right now?
Melter pistols and
power fists.
Power fists, yeah.
Yeah. If you take anything else, you take chainsaws in Death Company, you're literally hamstringing yourself points-wise. Because the unit will be pointed to its most effective loadout now.
Yeah.
And its most effective loadout now, and I'm like, I don't want to live in a world, in 40k specifically, where every single individual's Death Company unit looks the same. In AoS, I think it's more accepted.
Yeah.
But back onto the actual topic, I think arguably you're probably right. They do have an easier job of getting the rules right, and so we're probably going to see less of an issue of variance when it comes out, simply because the units are simpler.
I also think the armies are easier to collect in AoS. Much easier to collect.
What do you mean?
Because there's
Do you not think that's going to get worse
apart from Stormcast, right? Because their range is fucking massive.
I love it.
But got smaller, right? They were like chop off like a lot of goats. They really subdivided armies now. So instead of you have like a sub faction within a sub faction.
Okay.
So for instance, you look at dwarves, right? Dwarves, you've got Slayers, the Slayer army, what they're called?
Fire Slayers.
Fire Slayers.
Literally called Fire Slayers.
You've got Balloon Dwarfs.
Caradon Overlords.
Yeah. Or you've got the Cities of Sigmar dwarfs, which are your Iron Breakers, your Fire Drake, stuff like that, all the stuff from the old world. So they're kind of split into 3. So you have to like kind of specialize. Same with Chaos. You don't have Chaos as a whole army anymore, like you do in 40k, where you could take Chaos Space Marines and Demons and Chaos Knights. In AoS, you go, I'm taking Head Knights of Slaanesh, so I'm only doing Slaanesh stuff. Or you do Disciples of Tzeentch, only Tzeentch kind of thing, right? And I think that really helps you kind of narrow in your choices in terms of buying as well. Because you go, cool, I'm going to buy the what's it called? The Spearhead, because that's a game in itself. And then you can expand out from there because you're not burdened with a million choices. You go, cool, I've got 4 elite choices, a couple characters, and then troops choices, maybe an artillery piece or 2. So it's really easy to get a collection, and then you go, cool, I've done that, I can move on to the next one.
Maybe.
I think it's like the same. It's the same benefit of collecting Thousand Suns World Eaters, right? Because they've got quite small.
But again, I think in 40k, the ability to mix and match and make a narrative force that includes demons is one of the things that attracts people to it.
Yeah, but I think if you're coming in as a new player, then an existing player like us who know if you're just experiencing Warhammer for the first time, AoS is probably the best way of getting into it because you're learning a new rule set with everyone else, and you can go, I like those models, I'm going to do that army, and I don't have to think about how much I need to get because there are limited choices. And then as you learn narrative, you learn background, you learn about other armies and other options, then that's where the mixing and matching starts coming in.
Maybe. I think I don't know. It's hard because I get what you're saying. I don't disagree with you. But I also think that sometimes if you're a new person coming in, one of the things that makes 40k so attractive is the depth of the narrative.
Yeah.
So I think there's a few people that I've known in the past. This isn't commonplace, don't get me wrong. There's a few people that I've known in the past that have stumbled across the narrative before they stumbled across the miniatures. Some people have stumbled across the narrative via video games. Some people have literally just stumbled across the narrative and then they've slowly but surely become invested in the miniatures. And that's happened. I've seen that happen a few times. I think the depth and the availability of narrative and lore for 40k is potentially one of the things that makes it a better starter game. I would say that if it wasn't for the 10th edition rule set, which I'm starting to warm to. There's still a lot of mess, and I think that if 11th edition, I know this is an AoS stream, if 11th edition in 2 years' time takes current 10th edition 40k and just actually cleans it up, I feel like it could be a really cool rule set. It could be a really good rule set. But so yeah, I guess I kind of agree with you, but I also can see why 40k could be attractive to a new person as well because of the depth that exists.
The space stuff's cooler, isn't it? You know?
Meat Squadron says, let's get a member train going. I'd appreciate that after last night's fucking catastrophe, which was YouTube's fault, not my fault. YouTube's fault. A meat train.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate that too, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the women outside this building on a night time would appreciate a meat train too.
I saw a freaky meat train on The Boys. I just finished watching the first 2 episodes of The Boys season 4.
Is it any good?
So good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good. We've got a couple of things to jump in chat
We
for.
do.
You want to make a point about whether you think AoS is going to be a success or a failure, whether it's going to dazzle or disappoint us, please feel free to stick it on a big colourful postcard. Yeah. There's a little $sign to the right of the chat box. Press that box, stick it on a postcard, and you have your comment guaranteed to be read out by a person who can barely read. Also, what you can do is you can gift memberships, and that's what he's talking about with the membership train, Mr. The Meat Squadron. Yeah. It's literally the best way of supporting us. I say this every single time. 80% of our revenue is in gifted memberships, and of that 80%, somewhere in the region of 70-75% of that is in gifted memberships. Gifted memberships are why we can do what we can do. Gifted memberships are partly a reason why we can think about bringing 4th edition AoS content to you and start stepping outside what has, I think, currently been our lane, I guess, is what we would call it. So big shout out to all you people that gift memberships and support the channel. You're amazing. It's how we can do all what we can do. You're just all incredible people. Yeah. Incredible people. Talking of incredible people.
Thank you, Elec Man. It says, what do you have against the faction focus articles on principle? I like them personally. Sure, we don't get full context, but I think they're exciting.
Oh no! So the articles themselves are great. I actually, to be clear, Alec Man, thank you for the 5 by the way. I actually have no problem with the article in itself. I think the articles are really, really good. I think the articles are giving you just enough to make it interesting without giving so much away that all your excitement goes when the rules finally come out, whenever that happens for Age of Sigmar, right? So actually the articles are cool. I have some minor issues with the actual articles. If we're going to dive into this a little bit, I have some minor issues where they will use 25 sentences to describe something with narrative and then finally give you the rule, which is actually a sentence. And I'm like, you don't need that much fluff. And then afterwards, they'll write the rule out again anyway. Yeah. Here's the box that shows you the image of the rule. And underwards, by the way, this is what it means they can do. Oh, I know, because I can fucking read. So the articles aren't the best put together in the world, but I have no problem with the actual article itself.
They're good at creating hype.
Yeah. The problem that I had was doing faction-focused coverage on the channel, on the Liam and Joe AoS show, for 2, maybe 3 reasons. The first main reason why I think it's a problem is because it's me reading a Warcom article to you. Well, guess what? You guys are smart, most of you, some of you, maybe not. most of you are smart. You can read a Warcom article. You don't need me to read it to you.
Yeah.
This isn't story time with fucking what's his name.
What I'd like to see from Warcom articles about faction focuses is like, here's a couple rules done. You know, it's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Some fluff. They should be like, here's the models in this range. Here's like 15. Here's a long list of the models or the units that you have access to. Here's some conversions. Here's some beautiful pair stuff. Look at how pretty they are.
But in principle, I don't really have an issue with the actual article itself.
No.
The issue I have is me reading it's a bit boring for people to watch. And I would sit here reading the article, and I even sat there thinking, this feels like it's boring to watch. So not only am I doing something, not only is my content becoming something that you can just go and do anyway, and I don't like that feeling for content. I feel like that's just lazy content. But secondly, I felt like it wasn't entertaining and it isn't fun to watch.
Yeah.
People don't sit there listening to me read an article and go, oh, it's something I didn't know, because you can just go and read it yourself. So it's just not fun content. That was also absolutely reflected in, third point, it's absolutely reflected in the engagement on the stream. And that's in terms of viewership, likes, super chats, gifted memberships. The engagement is down everywhere because it's boring content. And I'm not too big to admit when we've done shit boring content. So we did it for a couple of weeks, and I said to Joe, I think after the last one, which wasn't last week before, I said to Joe, I think the faction focuses are a bit shit. And you were like, yeah, probably. So I thought we'd do something different. So I still want to talk about AoS. I still want to talk about the new version of AoS.
I think if we did a more regular show, like a Liam and Joe show every day, after the faction focuses come out, I think it's
Well, here's the other thing as well, right? If I was able to deliver a faction focus within a couple of hours of it coming out, and I was able to make a video and put it out there, one, it probably is going to perform better. That being said, point two, I'm still not going to do a great job because I don't know 3rd edition. So what the fuck am I... So two things. One, what the fuck am I comparing it to? Because I don't know 3rd edition. I wouldn't like to sit here and try and be a 3rd edition aficionado because I'm not. And secondly, I don't really know the narrative for most of the factions.
I think what you...
So when they say, Caradon Overlords can do this, I'm like, cool, I don't know if that's good or not.
I think you probably go, you do a video based on, here are the units that you have access to, here's a little lore background on what they actually are and how they live. Because one of the biggest issues that Age of Sigmar has, right, is that outwardly when you look into Age of Sigmar, a lot of the factions are generic high fantasy armies, but also you don't really understand how they all fit together, right? Chaos, Empire, Angry Tree People, Orcs all have very specific slots that fit into people's minds. They know what they are.
Yeah.
Humans, Orcs, Elves, done. Demons. But you go, okay, we've got Dwarves here, which have loads of steampunk technology, and they all fly around in balloons. How do they fit into the same universe as Savage Orcs? You know, like they don't look like they're part of that game. So Games Workshop don't do a very good job in the faction focuses of explaining why they exist, what they do.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at elves, for example, the pointy hat elves with the big plumes, the cow elves.
The Lumineth Realm Lords.
The Lumineth Realm Lords.
Literally my favourite faction, Joe.
Right.
Please at least get them right.
They are...
Well, maybe tied with Sigmar.
They are your generic good guy elves, aren't they?
They're a high elf aesthetic, yes.
Yes, right.
And arguably a high elf based narrative too, if you know the narrative around the Lumineth.
Whereas if you look at Fish Elves and Daughters of Cain,
yeah,
right?
Idoneth Deepkin.
Deepkin and Daughters of Cain, if you look at them, right, they're not good guys. They're not Order.
No.
Are they really?
No.
Because if you used to play fantasy back in the day, you go, cool, Dark Elves, they're bad. They're baddies.
By the way, John McCardle, thank you so much for 20 gifted.
Thank you.
I know I don't normally like to interrupt Joe for gifted memberships. When it's 20, it's special. 20 or above is huge. You will notice, John, YouTube is now working.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the 20 gifted there, man. You're absolutely
we
right.
love John.
Sorry, Joe,
love
carry
John
on.
Alfred.
I need to go to the bathroom. Can you keep talking without me?
I can do.
I was sweating. I was about to say a phrase that I can't say on stream. I was sweating a lot this morning.
Yeah.
And I
so you should be fully lubricated.
So I got home and drank a bottle and a half of water, and I came in here and drank another bottle of water. I've done my 2 litres already because I was fucking struggling.
Did
it
they
was
say you
hard.
had to be 3 litres?
Is it 3 litres now? I thought it was 2 litres a day.
It went out to, the big thing was like, God, drink 3 litres of water.
Has it changed to 3 litres a day now?
I think they brought it back down to 2 because 3 is mental. I think people were drinking more than 3 litres and basically washing all the salt out.
I normally struggle with 2 litres, but today, the new programme that Sam set for me this morning, I went and I did it for a session and I came out and I was fucking dripping.
I'm terrible drinking water and I left my water bottle here, my fancy one.
Well, I'm going to let you keep talking to chat for a minute.
So I just didn't drink any water all weekend. Because drinking water is massively inconvenient when you haven't got a massive bottle. So the problem with...
I'm worse than you now, Joe.
Fish elves and Daughters of Cain is that everyone always believed that they were baddies, right? So now we're in a position where we've got elves that are blind, that come from the sea on giant sharks and eels to basically come and suck the souls out of children in the night to feed themselves. And you've got elves who literally worship the god of war and blood and cover themselves in blood, and they're only really happy when they're murdering people. Those aren't generic good guy characteristics, so people get a bit confused about those. So I think that one of the issues that Age of Sigmar at the moment is that people don't really know where things fit. And I think the Games Workshop articles could be better in explaining those. So I think it'd be cool if we had something that, like, after those come out, go, cool, these are the units you have access to, here's your characters, here's your battle line, here's your other stuff, here's what they do, this is what they represent, this is how they work-ish, okay? And I think that would be much better for a army preview, because then people don't get all the information, but it helps them make their minds up in advance, because if you go, cool, if Games Workshop go, here's one character, here's half the unit's rules, here's a special piece of equipment, people don't have all the information. They're like, oh, I don't really like those, and they might go and look at a different faction. Where if Games Workshop linked it to all the units they have access to, they're like, oh, I love that model range. I'm really excited. I always wanted to get that. I didn't know that model was part of that range.
I apologise for leaving you then.
That's fine.
You kept talking the whole time. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Well done. Hard, isn't it?
Not for everyone.
Oh my lord, honestly. Far too much water. Is it actually 3 litres now though? I need to know. Or is it 2? Someone in chat tell me. Make Joe become a law master. I volunteer as tutor. You know what? You're not wrong. I like the faction focuses. By the way, back to the super chat because that's what we were answering. I like the faction focuses. I just don't think me reading them is good content. And I think there are other people that understand the game better that are just reading the faction focuses and giving you their thoughts.
I think if we could do a faction, because obviously what we did is we've got 4 to catch up on from last week, so we're just going to go through the 4. I think we're better off creating one faction focus for a faction that we do like and have pictures and information.
Adam says, I just don't like the realms thing, too much to keep track of. I prefer one bit back like in fantasy. I think that one of the things, if I'm honest actually, one of the things, especially in the recent edition of Age of Sigmar, that sort of put me off was trying to get my head around the lore.
The realms.
All the different realms. And it's starting to settle now.
Yeah.
It's starting to settle, but it's taken me, it's literally taken me going away and coming back to it, I don't know, 4 or 5 times,
because the realms
are
basically, you got to think of realms like planets.
And that helped me massively.
Yeah.
I think Josh told me that.
Yeah.
I think it was Warhips that said that. If you think of the realms like a planet and the universe is where the realms exist, I started to cope with it a bit better.
Yeah.
And start to understand it a bit more. But I can absolutely see why if you come in and try and go, like for 3rd edition, for example, today we're playing in the realm of magic. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
Surely it's all magic.
Well, it means that that core rule book that you've got, there's loads of bolt-on stuff because we're playing in a different realm. That was enough to me to start with to be like, oh, I don't like it.
But it's like the same as saying like, oh, we're playing on a death world or a snow world or a jungle world. You know, I think the Games Workshop used to have those rules and it was really cool, but they just got rid of them because it was a lot of work. I think to maintain.
Eradicating flavour. It sounds like DWJ. Getting rid of flavour in favour of just mundane, boring shit that they could just keep selling every 3 years. By the way, hate the fact that both of the things now are on 3-year rule cycles. That's a whole different stream, though. Thank you, by the way, Alec Man, for your super chat. But that's why I just wanted to be clear. I don't hate faction focuses. The faction focuses are cool. as long as when you approach them and you read them, when you approach anything and you read anything on Warcom, nothing against the people that write Warcom, but that is Games Workshop's promotional mouthpiece.
Yeah.
So you have to take a little bit of a pinch of salt with it and keep sprinkling that little pinch of salt whilst you're reading each article, because ultimately their intent is to get you excited about it and get you buying something. That is obviously true as well. When you look at, if you look at bad news articles, there isn't a lot of actual content on those articles.
No.
Because it's bad news. When we want to sell you something, tons of content about that thing, loads and loads and loads of fancy words. I think there's a guy who's got a job at Lenton Road at Warhammer World. I think there's a guy who's got a job now in an office where someone types out, this is what I want to say. I think his job is to sit there all day, right click, synom, right click, synom, right click, synom. I think that's what he does now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or he takes a phrase and he puts it into ChatGPT and says, make sure you make this phrase with only words that are 3 syllables or longer.
Yeah.
I think there's a bloke that actually has that job now. Yeah, absolutely. Slave to Darkness just dropped, so you can be excited.
I am excited.
Anywho.
I've got so much Slave to Darkness to paint. Thank you, Crumpets Panda, for 5 gifted memberships.
Mr. the Panda, thank you. It's working today. It's working, chat.
Yeah. Yep. I hope next time you go to B&M, they have an excess of giant crumpets.
What's B&M? Oh, it's the discount store place.
Yeah. They sell massive crumpets, like huge, like plate size.
I was very disappointed today. Went to Aldi, and Joe says they have a centre aisle. It has everything. They didn't have a saucepan.
It has everything in the sense of like, it has an eclectic taste in.
I wanted to buy a
things.
saucepan and some eggs.
There's a frying pan and a paella.
A paella, it's
thing,
like a wok,
which
essentially.
is basically a wok.
Basically a wok with handles.
Yeah, the middle of Lidl or the middle of Aldi is more of a case of you've got about a week to get it. And
It's
then
a lottery,
gone,
right? Yeah.
And then some other random shit goes.
They had, do you know what? They had some beef jerky there like 2 months ago,
Yeah.
which was jalapeno flavoured beef jerky.
Yeah.
It was the greatest beef jerky I think I've ever had out of a packet in a supermarket. I have to add those caveats because I've had some other stuff. There was a South African, I think it was, when I was in the army, he used to bring in this biltong stuff, which was fucking glorious.
I love biltong.
But it wasn't out of a supermarket packet. Anyway, I think he made his own somehow. Anyway, it was bloody glorious. And it was there, and I bought it for like 2 weeks, and it's gone. It's never come back.
Yeah. Because it won't. Because they buy all of their stock for the middle aisles like a year or two in advance.
It's the rotating section of bullshit.
Yeah.
There is a lot of bullshit in there.
The thing is, though, you go in there and I didn't realise that I need a fridge organising trays, but they do look good. Or you're like, didn't realise I needed a 37-piece drill kit.
Yeah.
But
I've not drilled in the last 6 months. But look at that.
But at that price, can't say no. Yeah. I didn't realise I needed industrial quantities of peanut butter.
Yeah.
But I can't say,
a tub that's literally so fucking big,
Yeah.
I can scoop it onto my bread using a ladle.
Yeah. It won't run out for years. But it's the great thing about those places. I was in Lidl the other day, and Lidl, it provides all of my socks. Because Lidl has their own Lidl branded socks.
Yeah.
The best, most comfortable socks I've ever had in my life. From anything.
Are you a person, I think I know the answer to this already, but are you a person who, when you find something like that, the most comfortable socks you've ever had, you then only buy those socks and only wear those socks?
Pretty much.
Oh,
Although
yeah, I'm not
I've got those socks and I've got some Dunlop ankle socks.
When it comes to Christmas and my birthday, which are, quite similar since they're a day apart, I always end up with socks. And Luce always chuckles in the corner because she knows I'm like, thanks. And they go to a charity shop literally with the tag still on them.
Yeah.
Because I won't wear them because I like the ones that I know. So I'm like that. Especially when it's on my feet. Got to think about things being on my feet.
Although I need to get sliders because I realise I can't wear flip-flops.
In between your toes?
Yeah. I feel like I'm literally being cut in half with flip-flops.
Huh.
Whereas I think sliders, so I nearly bought some Lidl sliders.
Tell me they're coloured blue and yellow.
Yeah. And then they've also got Lidl wellies as well. Which are yellow, blue, red.
If we get to 100 gifted memberships in this stream, I will buy you Lidl flip-flops.
Yeah.
Yeah. How expensive are they?
£5.
If we get to 50 gifted memberships in the stream, I'll buy him little flip-flops.
If we get to 100, can I have the sliders and the wellies? I definitely wear Lidl wellies.
If
they're bright.
how many items of clothes do they have? If we get to 100 gifted memberships,
T-shirts.
if we get to 100 gifted memberships on this stream, could I deck you out head to toe in Lidl wear?
Yeah. They do hats, T-shirts, shirts, shorts, trousers, pajamas now, jumpers at Christmas.
Are they all like blue and yellow as well?
Yeah, blue, yellow, red. Yeah.
And you'd wear it on stream?
Oh, 100%.
This is
Can we
amazing.
get sponsored by Lidl?
This is
Lidl,
amazing.
also, the Lidl bakery is God's gift to Earth as well.
The little bakery is actually pretty good. My brother used to work in one. I think before he got sacked for fingering. He used to work in one. And the bakery was always, you always walk in and go, ooh, that smells nice.
Yeah. And they do click and collect as well now. So I literally just order online and then just turn up when I need to.
The one in Totton now, we've well sidetracked here. The one in Totton now is quite fancy actually. They've redone it.
Yeah. Well, I've got a really nice one near us in Shaftesbury, one in Gillingham. And then the one in Warminster looks like Basra. Just because it's surrounded by squaddies doesn't mean it has to be bad. But it's grim in there.
Anyway, I think you've got some more gifted to like.
We have, yes. Sorry about that, everyone. Thank you, Meet 201. Thank you, Elec Man again. He says, if you think you're being slightly unfair with weapons, Liam, AoS has special weapons too. Look at the new Liberators. If you don't believe me.
Yeah, but they have one weapon upgrade.
Yeah.
No,
You do
it's
find
not the same.
It's like the sergeant, isn't it?
It's not
really?
the same as having a tactical squad where when you're at 10, this is how it used to be. I don't know if it still is. I think it probably is. Or even a Chaos Space Marine squad. It's not the same as having a tactical squad where you've got a sergeant who can take a chainsword or a power sword or a power fist or a thunder hammer and then can also swap his pistol for a plasma pistol or a melter pistol or blah, and then you've got a guy in the squad who can take a heavy weapon, which can be a missile launcher or a plasma cannon or a heavy bolter or a las cannon or a multi-melter, and then a specialist operative that can take a plasma gun or a flamer or a melter gun, or there's probably something else that I'm missing, right? Mm-hmm. One Liberator in a unit being able to take a double-handed hammer isn't the same. It's not the same.
No.
They're very different.
If you look at Chaos Chosen, right? In a squad of 5, you can have 2 combi weapons. The rest have bolt guns. 2 can have plasma pistols. 1 can have twin lightning claws. 2 can have heavy weapons, right?
Yeah.
But once you go to 10, you can still only have 2 special weapons. But that also increases the amount of special weapons and combi weapons you can have in the squad. Or Chaos Terminators. Any number of Chaos Terminators can have power weapon and a storm bolter.
Yeah.
But the whole unit can also have combi weapons. But then 6 of them can have power fists. 2 of them could have chain fists.
And I'm not, to be clear as well, I wanted to add, I'm not saying one system is better than the other.
No.
I actually like both. What I would like is I would like Age of Sigmar to very much stay the way it is.
Yeah.
A unit has a set of weapons, or you can change the whole unit to having another set of weapons, and maybe one model per 3 or one model per 10 or whatever it might be can have a slightly better, heavier weapon. I want that to stay exactly the same, with the points being how they've always done the points. What I would like is 40k to be back to being the granular hobby it was before, but with the granular points as well. And I think there's a place for both of these mechanics and both of these systems. And I felt like in seriousness, Age of Sigmar tends to lend itself more to the everyone in it's got the same weapon because it's kind of more fantasy, high fantasy. And I feel like 40k lends itself to being more granular. And I feel like it makes sense to separate. I've said this a few times before, and I'll say it the same. I'll say it again, sorry. I do not want, when I say Age of Sigmar have done this well and 40k have done this badly, I don't want 40k to just adopt all of Age of Sigmar's changes because I want them to be 2 different games.
Yeah, I feel like Games Workshop were saving all of their granularity for Kill Team.
But is
right?
it?
Right. So if you look at like 40k, all the units have the same points and they all have the same-ish kind of weapons, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you look at Kill Team, like, cool, I've got one guy with a power fist and a bolt pistol, one guy's got a plasma pistol and a power sword, one guy's got a sniper rifle, one guy's got a flamer, one guy's got a heavy weapon.
But is that the way Kill Team is anymore?
I don't know. I think it's you buy them in like 3-man bunches now, don't you?
I don't think that's the way it is anymore. I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't play Kill Team.
But
So I might be commenting on something I'm completely
team is
unqualified to
based
talk about.
on the Kill Team one. The Kassakin Kill Team has like got a sniper, a melter, a plasma, a hotshot volley gun, a melter, a sergeant, and some basic infantry guys.
This could really get me. Be careful, because you could really get me into Kill Team right now.
I would love to do Kill Team. Basically, it means I could do some mad conversion.
All I knew was that the Kill Team Scorpions was 10 Scorpions, all with chainsaws and pistols, apart from the auto.
Yeah, that's where like the weird limitations come in. Because if you look at the Chaos Guard one guy's got a breaching shield, one guy's got a shotgun, one guy's got a heavy weapon. And it's like a mixture of auto guns, flamers, and special weapons.
Melody says the 40k app designers are on their way to kill Liam for making them design an interface where everyone has 3 choices of pistols. I don't feel like Battlescribe did it. Battlescribe did it without a multi-billion-pound company behind them.
Battlescribe covers something like 47 different games in one app.
I can't wait for you to read that one in a minute.
Yeah.
No, we'll do it in order.
So, Games Workshop's app is good because it's quick and easy and functional.
I actually like the app with a couple of issues.
I really like the app, right? But them saying, oh, we can't do it, we're not sure, is a bit of bullshit when you think Battlescribe for the last 12 years, right, has given you access to Games Workshop's current games, more time, Battlefleet Gothic, Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer 8th Edition, also like Star Wars Armada, bolt action.
And please don't forget that the people that did the files for Battlescribe were typically all volunteers.
Yeah.
When you were paying for Battlescribe, it wasn't the volunteers that were making the money.
Yeah, and then you click on the unit, it will give you all the options, and you can choose all your weapon loadouts, and you could hold down on one of the things, view it, and it gives you all the rules for that unit, and all the stats, and all the special rules will be listed. Like in obviously Games Workshop don't do an app for Heresy, but Battlescribe support it. And when you go to your Leviathan Dreadnought and you pick its 4 weapons, and then you get 147 keywords, which are located all over 2 massive fucking books, right? It goes, here's all of those keywords. This is what they all mean.
In some aspects, Battlescribe is still better. And you know what's different about Battlescribe to the 40k? So if we talk about the couple of things that do irk me, the 2 main things that irk me between Battlescribe and the 40k app. Firstly, Battlescribe, you can put legends in. Just works. I'm actually legitimately contemplating re-downloading Battlescribe just so that we can use legends on streams.
Yeah, that makes sense.
100% legitimately considering this. The other reason why Battlescribe is slightly better is because although it's ad full if you do not pay for it, it is free. If you pay for it, it's a small annual fee.
Oh, it's like £2 for a year.
Yeah.
I still pay for it.
It's not £6 a month to show that Warhammer Plus is successful, but actually people are paying for the app.
I still pay the £2 or £3, whatever it is, for a year, just for like once every 6 months when I do a bolt action army list.
Yeah.
Or someone's like, oh, should we get into Heresy? And I'm like, well, let me see how difficult it is to make an army.
Tony Winnick, thank you for 10 gifted memberships.
Thank you. Cornet Ed for 1 gifted membership. Thank you, Kazarian. Says, theme comes from units, in my opinion. I ran zombies, dogs, and Virkos Soulblight Gravelords last month. I'm playing Hero Hammer this weekend with vampires, skeletons, and knights.
Yeah, but that's how you have to do it with AoS.
Yeah.
Right? But it's different in 40k.
Yeah, I feel like 40k heroes aren't heroes. Don't get me wrong, some heroes are really fucking cool, but they are few and far between.
Do you know what? When we played, this is something that I'm very, 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 very much excited for, and you can tell I'm excited for it because I said very like 4 times, right? When we played our demo game with GW, at undisclosed location at undisclosed time, when we played our demo game with GW, I took Sylvaneth, and I said, here's all the models I have access to, and they went, here's the list we want you to bring. And one of the things they want me to bring was Alarielle. Alarielle in 3rd edition is like 800 points. I suspect that, considering what my army list was in 4th edition, it's not going to be too dissimilar because of how many other models I didn't have. And do you know what? Joe and I played each other in the full-size game of 4th edition Age of Sigmar with GW, and Alarielle, I was like, that's a lot of points. Do you know what? She felt like a fucking hero.
Your army was
Hero Hammer, basically.
Minimalistic compared to mine.
I can tell you now, it was around 2,000 points. I had a L'Oreal, I had a Tree Lord Ancient, I had Dirthy, I had 2 units of Kernoth Hunters, and 1 unit, I think, of Dryads.
No, you had the 3 Revenants.
Oh, the Revenants, that's the one, yeah. That was my army. And I was like, and Dirthy and the L'Oreal and the Tree Lord Ancient felt like fucking heroes.
Yeah.
They felt like what I
You're
think...
basically playing Imperial Knights.
Kinda.
Yeah.
But I want Khan and I want fucking Gabriel Seth to not need to have 20 people around him just to keep him alive. And I want Abaddon to be this infused chaos fucking borderline god because he's Abaddon. And at the moment in 10th we don't get that. One of the things I'm really excited for in 4th edition, and I think is going to be something that means I love it more than, not more than 40k, but almost as much as 40k, is that it feels like there's an ability to play Hero Hammer at least.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those areas where I'm just absolutely not going to be disappointed. I feel like I'm going to be able to play Hero Hammer in AoS. And if I want to run a fucking cool, great big character.
The great thing about characters in AoS 4 that we found, they're really well supported by the heroic actions, which you don't get in 40k.
Agree.
Right, so you've got your unit abilities, but then you go, cool, I can give this guy like the +1 to hit, +1 to wound, like the best day ever.
But if you wanted to play a sci-fi game where you didn't have actual heroes, then you'd just play like Legiones Imperialis.
Yeah.
Where you just have swathes and swathes of tiny little men, because you don't care about your men, because it's not about that, it's about the bigger strategic tactical battle.
Well, it's like Star Wars Battlefront, the computer game. When you go running around as stormtroopers and you die, and you go, cool, I've got the option to be Darth Vader now.
I fucking love Darth
Right?
Vader.
Or you're playing the good guys. You're cool, I'm Luke Skywalker now. Let's go mess some shit up. Right? That's what you want in 40k. You want your cool, badass character to step up and just murder shit and not die very easy. Currently, Abaddon fucks everything, right? But he's got a glass chin, hasn't he? You just walk up and oh, you're dead now. Great.
He dies too fast.
A less than 100-point character or like model or I don't know. 100 points of assault intercessors, just go in and flat murder him in combat, and you're like, no, don't like this.
Chat, we're currently on 49 gifted memberships, 51 more, and Joe gets to be decked out in a Lidl outfit for one of his future streams.
It seems that like your options are.
He's glazing over that one.
I'm down for it. It seems that your options are, you're really killy, but you can't take a hit, or you're really resilient, but you hit like you're hitting people with a rolled up newspaper.
Yeah.
Like
a soggy piece of bread.
Mortarian, right?
Yeah.
Super tough. 16 wounds, 2 up save, 4 up in
relatively
run.
tough, yeah.
Right. He's got to feel no pain. He's like toughness 12 or something. Right. Has great auras and stuff. But he hits like a wet fish.
But the reason why that is so incredibly inconsistent is because then a unit of 6 meganobs hit like an absolute bulldozer and have chins that are made of literal rock.
Yeah.
Don't die. You know?
It's just a bit mad, isn't it? Whereas I don't think we're going to have that problem in AoS.
Mike, I'd be open to doing little instead of little. Head to toe and little wear.
Yeah. Like
I'd
a
be into
baby.
that. Just really tight fitting, like up here, crop top type. Oh,
Oh, no one wants to see that.
it would be an easy wank. Yeah, anyway.
Anyway, thank you, Meat Squadron. If you don't give members, you sit down to go to E.
Fact. It's a straight fact. If you don't gift a membership, then you're a sit down to pee person.
So Liz Brandt stands up to E.
Of course she does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, Liz.
With your 10
Yeah.
gifted.
From at least 4 feet away as well.
Yeah. Oh, I just clicked my knee. I hope, Liz, next time you go to Lidl, they have all the clothes in your size.
You didn't do, for the last 10 that we said thank you to, you didn't give them a hope.
Some of them I did.
No, the last 10 that just happened
Crumpets
before Liz.
Panda.
No, the last 10 that just happened before Liz. Listen to me before you start speaking again.
Yeah.
Keep going down.
Yeah, because I've not got to there yet.
Well, I said thank you because it's 10. I say thank you straight away, Joe, because it's a lot of money. I was like, thank you so much, Tony Winnick, for the 10. You went, thank you, and thank you, Meat Squadron, for the 1. I think is what you said, or something like that. I was like, no, we're thanking the 10 right now, and you just
but I want
glazed
everyone
over.
to feel-
Tony, Joe doesn't care about you. I do.
I do, but I also want to appreciate the people that can't spend as much money.
I do care about you, Tony.
He only cares about people with lots of money. Everyone else is poor. I love the poor people. Unless you're really poor.
Like attracts like, though, Joe, right?
Yeah. That's why I shop at Lidl. Right.
Little.
Thank you. Thank you, Crumpets Panda, again. Keeping the stream afloat, you are. I would like to see a general review of the vibes from the articles. Your take on things that excite you.
The thing is,
muscle mummies.
the thing is, when it comes to thanks, Crumpets, by the way. The thing is, when it comes to something like an AoS launch, the amount of content that they quick fire out makes it very, very hard to make constant content covering that content that isn't a bit repetitive or a bit dull. I don't like the concept of taking 3 or 4 faction focuses and squeezing them into a single video. That's kind of bad. That being said, talking about pre-recorded, that being said, I have recently engaged a new editor after the trials and tribulations that I had over the last month or so, specifically the last 2 weeks, who has edited a video in an evening very quickly, which would have taken me a couple of days, I reckon, and has actually said to me that they can't take on too much work because of their full-time job. I'm not in a position right now to hire an editor, but I want to be like, well, how much can you do? And there is a potential that we could add a lot more pre-recorded content in the future, even if it's talking heads edited stuff, if I can convince this editor to do more work for us. It's paid work, to be clear, but if I can convince him to do more work for us, we may be adding more content in the future. Obviously, the intent is to. I don't feel like we're at a place where we can expand the live content very much without real sacrifices.
Yeah, like I just stopped paint. You just don't get new models on the channel.
Yeah, or I give up weekend days, which at the moment, I do 7 streams a week now, most weeks. There are the odd week where we go down to 6, like last week, because we had Kiriath in for the saga. But if we don't have a guest in, or something else pre-booked, typically now we're doing 7 streams a week every week. I just don't have capacity for more live, and I think we'd hit a point of diminishing returns. We're arguably already on that kind of precipice of diminishing returns because some streams we do like fucking 30 members, and that's at that point it becomes kind of almost, dare I say this without sounding like an absolute cock, it almost becomes not worth it. So I think the thing we add in the future going forward is pre-recorded content and a fair amount of it, so we can give you something to watch almost every day. But I need an editor for that because 1, it takes me a long time because I'm self-taught in terms of editing, and 2, I don't actually love it.
It's not the most exciting job in the world.
It's hard work. It's a bit dull. It's hard work. And it takes me fucking forever to learn to do a thing that will come up on the screen for 3 seconds and go away, and 90% of people won't notice. And if I have an editor who knows how to do that already, because it's literally what they've done in the past.
It's also a thing of like in terms of like the level of quality you want to put out, right? So you'll sit and you'll watch a video and you're like, I don't like that click noise that happened then, so I need to find a way of getting rid of it, or this person's made a mouth noise, or there's like a very slight hum, like almost inaudible, but you kind of know it's there.
Yeah, Brom's nose whistle.
Right, you want to get rid of that thing. Whereas some people will be like, cool, I recorded this 4-hour podcast on the side of the M25 in a gale storm, right? One of the microphones didn't work, I just bash it out.
Yeah, that'll do.
Just bang. People will listen to it. And we don't want to have no bottom level in terms of quality.
No.
We have a level that we want to put out, and that's what we want to kind of stick to. So, like, it's going to take a bit longer for us to get stuff out because we don't want to give you shit.
If anybody wants to, via PayPal, donate a year's salary for an editor to us in one go.
Or 2 years' salary, and then
that'd be ideal.
I can go on holiday.
No, you can't. I still need you for the streams, Jay.
Okay.
That'd be great. And then it's a bit risk-free at that point. Rossonero, by the way, 20 gifted memberships, Jay.
Thank you.
79 we're on now. They already want to see you dressed up in Lidl gear.
Thank you, Rossonero. I hope that you get a car named after you.
You still haven't said that what you hope Tony gets for his 10 gifted.
I hope that when he goes to the beach, right, at the end of the day he's leaving, and one of the ice cream vans is just giving out free ice cream.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Because, like, I know their freezer's broken or something.
I don't want free ice creams.
Why?
Because I'd eat loads of them and make myself
Fucking
sick.
love ice cream.
Yeah.
What's your favourite?
My favourite ice cream? Ben and Jerry's fish food.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't had any in a long time now. And I think because I've been off sugar for so long, I'd now probably have a spoonful, but like, it would be so fucking sweet. Yeah. Ben and Jerry's fish food. I used to really like vanilla ice cream until Luce told us the fact that the vanilla flavouring in a lot of ice creams comes from an animal's anal gland.
Surely it comes from the vanilla plant.
Nope. We Googled it.
Really?
And chat were like, yeah, Luce is telling the truth.
Really?
Yep. I was the same as you. I was in the exact same place as you. I was like, nah, that's nonsense.
Is that like when people were saying, oh, that like Red Bull's made from fucking cow piss?
Tony's turned away from you. But yeah, no, apparently true. Oh, Rossonero really wants to see you in Lidl gear.
Thank you, Rossonero.
For 20 more.
Thank you.
Beavers, yeah, beavers, see? People, that's the one, people know. People know.
Are the beavers alive?
Or when they get their own anal glands expressed.
Yeah.
I don't know, Joe.
Are the beavers?
That wasn't the first question I asked. The first thing I thought was, I've eaten a lot of vanilla ice cream in my life.
Yeah, but can you imagine? Like, oh, what's your job description? I finger beavers to get vanilla.
Oh, yeah?
You know?
That is a description for some people, mate, yeah.
I imagine it's on a police report, but not a... There's poor beavers.
If it's got black bits in it, it's real vanilla bean. If it's just white cream, it's beaver arse juice.
I'm kind. The scientist in me kind of wants to figure out how it gets from beaver bumhole.
B12 and energy drinks. Do not look that up. Dark Lord of Caliban, as an individual trying to get another individual off of energy drinks. Please tell us in chat what B12 and energy drinks are. Please tell us.
All right.
Please.
I know what chicken nuggets are made out of, and I still eat them. Right? I still eat hot dogs. Right? We talked the other day about people that drink coffee that's literally been shat out of a bat. You know?
No. All right. Anyway, carry on, Jay. You go through the. I'm trying to help him. He won't help himself though. Carry on.
Thank you, Christopher Sanford, Police Station, Gloucestershire. You heard it, chat. A Liam and Joe show every day confirmed.
I wish we could.
I mean, we could do the I hate them, but we could do the one where like I'm at home and you're at home.
No, they're shit. No.
They're really bad.
No. Again, you said it yourself, right? There's a level of quality that we won't drop below.
Yeah.
I do not like people go, we're doing a podcast, there's 3 of us, and they're all sat at home with their shit fucking cum smeared webcams and their terrible fucking microphones, and there's a slight delay, and they all no. This is a Liam and Joe show.
The problem is like I used to do the Lookout Sir podcast. It's like Dan would be at home recording on his nice microphone with his like headsets on, and it'd be great. And then Phil would be in his shed, right, with his iPhone, and he's got like a connected cable kind of thing. And I'd be sat on my sofa, just with my. I say sat on my sofa. I'd just be led on my sofa because I'd be knackered from driving all day. Yeah. I just had it on loudspeaker on my chest, and I sat there. The amount of times I fell asleep during podcasts, it was insane.
Yeah.
Like,
I won't do
almost unprofessional.
I won't do the virtual dial-ins. There's rare occasions where it's allowable.
Yeah.
For example, Mini Wargaming Dave, I did something with him about Ravaged Star, and he's in Canada, right? It's not easy for him to come over here and do a show. But I want to get him in for a saga. He's going to have to come here for it. If he wants to do a saga, and I want him to do a saga, he's going to have to come across to do that. So the next time he's planning a trip to the UK, we're going to try and get him also arranged in here so we can double it up so I don't have to pay for flights just for a saga. But there's a level of quality I don't want to go below. And now we have this studio, I feel like for more than one person content, Talking Heads content like this, doing it at home with webcams, it's just it's just dog shit. YouTube's a different world now. YouTube is not YouTube from 15 years ago, where everyone was filming on some terrible, terrible camera and the audio's awful and we all just accepted it because it was basically just home video.
Yeah.
Now YouTube is in a place where, especially the big channels at least, very, very good camera quality, very, very good microphone and audio quality, nice slick editing. That last part is the part that I'm trying to work on at the moment, is slick editing, by bringing someone in who's a professional to do that for us. So we could, the only way we could do a Liam and Joe show every day is if Joe was in this studio every day, which at the moment at least isn't geographically possible for you because you're too far away. That's an effort to come in every day. But maybe in the future, if this starts to really take off, we could do more Liam and Joe. But who knows? I don't know. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So we look out to represent in a crow's manner. That's I made the famous statement of "I'm not a professional goat" because they wanted me to make goat noises. I didn't. I always wanted to get that on a T-shirt as well.
I'm not a professional goat.
I'm not a professional goat.
I've got the new T-shirt design. Do you want to see it?
I saw it. You shared it.
No.
No,
I didn't. I shared the draft. I didn't share the finished version.
Is it like the draft but in colour?
Yeah.
That's cool. I still don't understand the statement.
For fuck's sake, there's no helping some people, chat.
Carry
on, Joe.
Also, Barry says that, cochineal beetles are ground up to make red food dye. Starbucks had a bit of a scandal when they went all natural and the vegans found out that red dye with beetles. Like, when I was at school, when I was 12, 13, the big rumour was that Smarties were made out of beetles.
I reckon...
And that never stopped me eating Smarties.
I reckon if you simply tallied lives lost creating normal food compared to vegan food, I reckon...
Are we assuming animal lives?
Just lives lost in general.
Yeah.
So beetles, bugs, insects.
Yeah.
I reckon vegan food would probably attribute to more lives lost in total. And if we include both the farming and the landscaping that allows that farming, I reckon. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to read this super chat because you said that it was important for me to read it, and then I'm going to go for a wee-wee.
Well, you need to read it first and then sit here.
Thank you, Alec Man. Hearing you call the Lumineth generic good guy elves dealt me a psychic damage, Joe. I hope you know that Lumineth are anything but generic. I've gone on so many rants at Liam about Lumineth lore.
Alec Man's a bit of a
generic.
Lumineth fan. They're not generic. They're not generic.
Just run around with their cow friends, don't they?
No. They're not all cow elves either, Joe.
I know Lumineth are really into genocide. That's like their go-to.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that might be why I relate to them so much.
They're just like, I've got a problem. How do we solve it? Solve it. Kill everyone related to that situation. Problem solved.
Yeah. They're not all cow elves though either. It depends on the kind of chamber that they're from, I guess. I don't know if they call it a chamber.
I kind of feel like they're like. I kind of feel this might not be you, Alec Man, but I kind of feel like the people that if they were they'd be part of the hentai part of the cartoon spectrum, like the cow elf section. A lot of cow print going on, you know.
You've got some hot takes today, Joe.
I just
got some hot takes today.
What do you up? Really into cow stuff, you know. Yeah, I'm really into milk and udders, you know. Whereas although I don't know, the fish ones are more like eels.
Crumpets, padders. I say, to be fair, I think most factions at AoS are a little too into genocide.
Yeah. I don't know.
40k too, to be fair.
Yeah.
GW product in general, a little too into genocide.
Yeah. Yeah, really into just
straight murder.
Solve problems. Yeah, but they're just too blue and shiny, aren't they? They got that whole wheat thing going on as well, haven't they? There's all those random little wheat sheaves on their bases.
I love the Lumineth, and I know a little bit more about their lore than I did before, and they're not generic at all. But I would much rather Alec Man ranted at you instead.
Really?
Yeah.
He can rant at me, but I worry that I will say something that will upset him.
We'll let him keep ranting at you.
Sometimes my brain gets ahead of the rest of me, And sometimes the things my brain says shouldn't be said out loud.
And the shock in chat right now is that your brain works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go to the bathroom, Jay?
Yeah. It's true. There's a whole section on the hub about it, I'm pretty sure.
Or have you got to there? So Tony, thank you for the 10 gifted. You're amazing. You're amazing. I love you. I love you. Even if Joe doesn't love you, I love you. Do you want to mute yourself on the deck as well? Talk.
Let's solve this problem.
How do you tell? Are you taking it off? Okay, cool. Thank you, Arno, for the 5 gifted. You are also a fucking legend. Liz for the 10. Rossonero for the 40. 40 is insane. And then Manza for becoming a Hasir tier member all by yourself. Thank you so much, you legend. Hasir tier does get you access to Discord. If you're not a member and you're thinking about becoming a member, Hasir tier is our lowest level. It's a level that forever I've wanted to delete because it's so low. But I actually like the fact that we make it very accessible for people to come into the community because the community is amazing. It offers all kinds of stuff like support, encouragement, hobby space, places to talk about law, narrative rules. There's a mental health thread. There's a fitness-based thread. There's a motorbikes thread. There's all kinds of stuff in there in the Discord. So we keep the barrier to entry super low so that A, almost anyone can afford $1.99 to come and join us in the Great Hall, and 2, it keeps all the trolls out because trolls typically won't spend $1.99 to come and troll people. So that's why we do it. If you want to upgrade to Skald tier, you get a 5% additional on all merchandise in the merchandise store, and we're slowly but surely growing our t-shirt range. But we are growing it, and it will keep growing and growing and growing. You also get early access to all of the sagas 5 days in advance. If you become a Jarl tier member, you get access to a monthly giveaway for a combat patrol box of your choice, or you can win a Vanguard or Spearhead box of your choice. It's entirely up to you which one of those you want. You only get one, but you get access to a free giveaway. You just click enter, and then at the end of the month, the bot draws one of you at random who entered for free, and you get one of those things you get to win. We have our Haskell team membership for some behind the scenes, and if you want to support us a little bit more, we have the Thanes, which is for WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp community in Thanes. Don't worry, it's not a nonsense 35 thread WhatsApp chat. There's like 5 or 6 threads in it in total, including an additional fitness one and accountability thread. There's Thanes questions where you get to ask the new guests questions. There's Thanes meetups. There's a general chat. There's an announcement. We typically put out products to the Thanes before everybody else because they're amazing. And if we're going to sell something out, I'd rather the Thanes. So when our new dice go live, Thanes will get early access. Okay, they just will because they're Thanes. And that's, I think, covered all of that. There was also the Aces. We don't have many Aces. The other night, Easton the Beston became an Acer.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, lad.
Actual Beston.
Hang on.
Actual Beston.
Oh, God.
That's a noise.
You need to stop eating mackerel, by the way.
Why?
Because our kitchen smells like a strip club's changing room.
My fitness and nutrition coach will tell me that mackerel's a good thing.
Yeah, but the smell, not great.
I don't care. The smell is almost always worse once you've been out there. The other day, you went into that bathroom and you shut the door and you came out and I was like, feel better? I didn't poo. I was just sat there farting. That's what you said to me, right?
Is
that not what you said?
I had a shy poop, yeah.
And then I walked into that room and you'd left the door wide open and I think I left my fucking eyebrows at the front door. I could taste that well more than I could taste the mackerel in the bin.
Yeah.
All right? Right. Joe went into the gym yesterday and now he wants us all to know about it because he's told me many times about how sore you are today and now you're making noises when you get up and down from the chair.
My back is not great. I had to literally just sausage roll out of bed this morning to a point where I could get on my front.
To be fair to you, mate, I'm at a point now in life where I sit up in bed and I swing my legs out and I sit there and contemplate life for 5 minutes before I stand up because I know at the point at which I stand up, everything's going to hurt.
Yeah, it's like getting in my car.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people now that has to like put my arm round the car door and then get the other one.
Yeah. Right, I did all the memberships. We have hit 100 memberships, Jay.
100 members?
Yeah.
So
you need to price up a full Lidl outfit for wearing on stream, and then I shall buy it for you.
I'll go there. I'm there. I'll probably go tomorrow to buy it.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's one right next to my daughter's school.
Okay. I imagine it's going to cost me about £7. Sam!
Sam Deacon
Just flopped his dick out.
Oh, became a Thane. New Thane time. Thane in the membrane.
Now, when you go into Discord, Sam, there is a little thread that will say, there's a WhatsApp link. Click the link. It will chuck you in WhatsApp with all the Thanes. You can join all the threads in WhatsApp. If you're having problems with it, DM me on Discord and I'll send you an individual link to WhatsApp. But if you pay for the Thanes to come in WhatsApp, get in there. Because I personally believe, channel aside, once you've been part of the Thanes community, you won't want to leave it, even if I'm not in there. Because they're just fucking great people.
Yeah.
But Joe's also in there, Eddie's in there, Kyle's in there. Brom and Paddy are far too important to be in the Thanes.
I don't think Paddy's like in the country enough or awake at the right times.
I think he will be soon, but yeah.
They'll be going crazy, won't they now?
The Thanes group will kick off right now, yeah.
Are you related? Isn't is there something Deacon? Isn't there a singer? Something Deacon? Roger Deacon?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what it's about. But yeah, there's a reason to upgrade the Thanes. It's the WhatsApp chat. The WhatsApp chat is fucking insane. We actually need to arrange the next get-together. They're thinking about the next get-together being at Bovington.
Tank Museum?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be banging.
Yeah, Joe, I knew you'd be excited for that.
I need to get a new cup. My missus broke my Sherman cup, so
Did it?
I need to buy a new cup. Oh. Yeah.
You shouldn't smash it over her head, Joe.
I wasn't even in the house. She sent a picture of me. She took a picture of it smashed on the floor with a pint glass.
What have you done to her?
I think what had happened is I was in a rush in the morning. I just kind of stacked stuff by the sink a little bit too precariously. So she's got to move something, and there's like a landslide.
So you hadn't upset her then?
I mean, I probably had.
You hadn't asked her for the hook to. Have you seen that? Have you seen that reel?
No. No.
There's a reel that I need to show you.
Okay,
good.
Yeah. Well, Deacon Blue. That.
He says may not be able to give members as much now. Not an excuse. Not an excuse, Sam.
I mean, I think he's paying enough.
Not an excuse, Sam.
Well. we could do another. We did one here, didn't we? The Thanes Day.
We had the initial like launch party in here. Yeah.
Could we not just ask the landlords to put some tables in on like the middle level?
I need to start doing this live studio audience idea.
Yeah.
At some point, yeah. I've got so many things I need to do.
Only the nice smelling ones.
So fucking far behind. Well, that doesn't leave many.
And the ones that aren't weirdos.
Unfortunately, not related to the Queen bass player.
Oh. John Deacon. Yeah, I thought I was thinking of.
Is it? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Right, cool. Well, we've got a couple of super chats to get through, and then we're basically at the end of that stream.
Thank you, Eric, man. I'd at least like your thoughts on Lumineth FF.
Faction Focus.
Do read it.
I'll read it at some point, and I'll probably
just
do it in Discord, dude.
Big bows, big spears, cool wolf.
Electman's carried the super chats today, chat, by the way. You've got 10 minutes.
I do think they are generic good guys, but their model range is stunning.
Oh, the model range is stunning. Especially Techless. I'm glad you finally admitted it, Joe.
Techless.
I'm glad you finally owned up the whole model range, chat. The whole model range is...
With some exceptions.
...is stunning. That's what he said. No. The model range. He said the model range is stunning.
Techless is
the model range is stunning.
I hate him.
Joe's words.
If I collected them, I wouldn't put him in the army out of principle.
It's like how we know that he loves Erebus. The model range is stunning. He finally admitted it rather than just trying to be edgy. Techless beautiful. Carry on.
The Kitsune Bow Lord of the Wind guy, he's my favourite out of the range. Also, they've got a strong banner game. They've got that special character whose banner is literally the size of a pyramid. And then that stupid fucking T-pose.
T-pose?
Techless. That's what his name is. He's representing his name, isn't he? I'm going to do a giant T. That's who I am. Basically, someone forgot to pose him and just left him in Kaz.
That pose is amazing.
It's awful.
It's not awful. You're awful.
The Sphinx is beautiful. Right.
Techless is amazing.
No.
Him being up like that in his magic is cool as shit.
Yeah. Also...
It's like Storm from X-Men. It is.
I don't like Storm.
Of course you don't, yeah. You're so sexist.
No.
Anyway, carry on.
She's just really annoying. She's really opinionated. Like when they create the vaccine, right? And she's like, "We've all got these gifts," says the woman who can make snow and clouds to the girl that can literally murders people by touching them. Mm-hmm. She's like, "Yours is a gift, the gift of murdering." To Rogue, by the way.
I'd like the gift of murdering.
When you watch like the X-Men cartoon and the films, right? There's a lot of really shit abilities there, isn't there? It's a really like if you're the guy that literally like makes. There's a guy who's fighting Wolverine, and he has these spikes that come out of his hands, and then he throws them at people. Right. You'd be a bit disappointed, right?
Why? It sounds like a pretty cool ability.
Yeah, but it's not got many real-world capabilities unless like you're really into.
Who's the best X-Man? There's one right answer.
The best X-Man?
Yeah.
Gambit.
Good. Okay, right, good. I'll allow it.
Gambit is the best X-Man.
Yeah.
He is the best.
Yeah.
Right? Rogue has some good powers. The thing is, like, if you think, right, if your ability is to make giant splinters to throw at people compared to someone that can literally move entire cities with their mind, right? You'd be like, oh.
Yeah, but you could be a norm. You could have no power.
I'd rather have no powers than the abilities to make fucking
no, you
twigs
wouldn't.
with my hands.
No, you wouldn't.
Nah.
Don't lie.
And there's that guy who's like a porcupine. He's got porcupine spikes. He can retract, and I'm like, he's not fighting crime, is he?
We'll have to put the X-Men on after this, just because I fucking love the X-Men.
Have you watched 97?
Is it a cartoon?
Yeah, it's a continuation of the cartoon.
No, I haven't watched the cartoon. No, it's fucking good. I don't want to watch.
I watched Logan. Actually, we were talking about this randomly. Like when you go to places, you can't watch Sky or you can't watch streaming stuff.
Richie Sunak's house.
Yeah. I was around my partner's parents' house, and they'd all gone to bed, and because I stay up late anyway, I was flicking through the channels. And I ended up watching Logan, which I haven't watched in fucking ages.
Yeah.
That is a banger of a film. The only thing that annoyed me is the fucking 7 minutes of adverts every like 20 minutes.
Isn't Logan the Wolverine origin story?
No, Logan is old man Wolverine. So all the X-Men are dead.
Which is the origin story?
Wolverine.
There's a graphical bit in that which is just nasty. Yeah. And then apart from that, the film was okay.
The bit where they took away Deadpool's mouth.
There's a bit where he's got, in the origin story, there's a bit where he's got his claws, the guy, and it comes out in the middle of the mirror, and graphically it's just badly done. And I was like, oh. But the rest of the film, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I saw a great thing about the terrible, that like Logan's is just stupid, right? Because they're like, Logan's like, oh, I'm going to go and fight Magneto. And then was like, don't fight Magneto because he controls metal. It's like, no, it'll be fine. 5 minutes later, my bones.
I reckon we should probably set ourselves up on a little date, Joe.
Yeah.
To go to cinema to watch the new Deadpool Wolverine film.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
100%.
Good.
A date, we should do it for work.
A work trip.
A work trip, yeah.
Yeah.
Daytime. I think if we go during the day, on a work day, it'd be nice
purposes.
and quiet as well.
So one day there won't be a Liam and Joe show.
Yeah,
because we're watching X-Men.
Yeah. We could do a late Liam and Joe show. We could see how early the showing is, go see it, and then just do a Liam and Joe show.
As long as it doesn't encroach on my gym time, then I'm okay with it.
Well, no, so do gym, go to cinema, Liam and Joe show. We'll give it a Warhammer title for the algorithm, and we'll just talk about the film.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
How can you hate the Logan film?
Because he hates the Logan film, Joe.
That's fine. Your opinion is your own, even if it's wrong. Thank you, Dave B. Hi, you sexy mavericks. On silent, so can't hear nout. Give me a wave.
That's commitment, Dave.
Yeah. Thank you, Liz Brandt, for we've done that already, haven't we?
Yeah, we've done all the gift. All the messages.
Rosnero. Thank you, Manza, for being a Hesir. Thank you, Sam Deacon.
We've done all the members,
for being
Joe.
a Thane.
I've done all the members, Joe.
Elect Man again. I posted this earlier, Liam, but if you get Joe to read pages 16 and 17 of the current Lumineth Battle Tome, I'll give 10 memberships. If Joe won't read my rants, I'll have to innovate.
I will get him to read them, but it won't be today because the Lumineth Battle Tome is in my office at home.
Bum.
So the studio setup that you see on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday nights, which is my home office, the Lumineth Battletome, it sits right next to me in that office, so I can't get him to read it now.
Do you take it to bed with you? Do you sleep next to it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Smell it.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite like the smell of a brand new Codex. It didn't really feel like a superhero movie and was rather bleh, says Jeremy.
Well, yeah, it wasn't like a superhero saving the world kind of situation.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
It was just like a...
I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've actually seen Logan yet. I saw the Origin one.
Fucking great.
Anyway.
The second Logan movie, where he goes to... I'm going to get this wrong, and chat will not be upset with me. He either goes to China or Japan.
Wow.
What's the one with samurais? Japan.
I'll just let you dig your own hole here.
He goes to a place and he fights ninja samurais. And I'm sorry. He goes and he fights, and it's just cool. And he fights this giant robot samurai. It's fucking brilliant.
The little brief moment of panic in your face there was worth it, Joe.
Japan. Chat's going Japan. Good. Japan. Thank you.
Right, people, we are at the end of the stream. For the
It's the Wolverine. So is it Wolverine Logan?
I don't know.
Or is it... What's the...
Joe, I'm trying to say goodbye. We don't care enough.
We've got 2 minutes.
We haven't got 2 minutes once I've done the goodbyes and told them all about the stream schedule for the rest of the week and said thank you to everybody, all that normal stuff that we do. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. In terms of the stream title, I don't think it's going to disappoint. I think AoS 4 4th edition is going to dazzle. I think it's going to be exciting. I am conscious of what happened with 10th edition 40k. I don't think it will disappoint us. I actually think we're okay and we're safe. And I think that Joe and I did a slightly better... We basically went there with the attitude when we saw GW. We basically went there with the attitude of, go on then, impress us, because 10th was a shit show. And I went with the attitude... In 10th edition, I went with the attitude of, it's going to impress me. I'm so excited. And with AoS, I went with the attitude of, go on then, impress me, because I'm ready to hate on it like I did 10th. So I think we won't be disappointed. I think we'll be dazzled by 4th edition. But thank you anyway for taking part in the stream, you beautiful human beings. We did hit 100 new members, which is insane. So I will be at some point kitting Joe out for a full Lidl outfit to wear on stream.
LC clearly watches South Park.
They're actually different countries.
Yes.
Don't you dare say, oh, really. Thank you so much for watching the stream. Thank you for all the gifted. Thank you mostly, Elecman, for the super chats, but thank you to everybody else as well. You people are incredible. Tonight at 7:30, I play, if you want to laugh, chat, tonight at 7:30, I play Brom live on stream, and this man is producing. Joe gets to read out all your super chats, say thank you for all the memberships, and press all the buttons all at the same time.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I
need to take you through a refresher before we go live?
I'm going to need a refresher before it happens. I don't think I'm going to be the worst at doing it.
Who's the worst then?
I don't know. The homeless man that sleeps outside the building sometimes. I'm definitely better than him.
Probably.
Right. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, a snail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd probably be better than snail, yeah.
One of those little tippy bird things that just drinks the water.
Oh, I think you might be stretching now.
Yeah. But that can only do one button. I have to do multiple buttons.
So you get to look forward to that tonight. Tomorrow at 7:30 in the evening, we have the Warhammer show. Thursday, we're back with another Liam and Joe show at 13:30, followed by another live game of 40k in the evening, which will be Joe and I playing each other. And it's important because it's Thursday, and the Liam and Joe show is important on Thursday. We can't say what. Actually, I can say that we've seen the updates because it's 40 hours in advance. I was told I was allowed to do that, right? So check out that on Thursday. Lots of exciting stuff coming.
Have you decided what army you're going to run for it?
On Thursday, Deathwing.
Oh, we did say this, didn't we?
Deathwing Tyranids.
Different Tyranids, yes.
Is that, we agreed that was what we were going to do?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, we've got 40k After Dark at 8:30, where we're going to drink some mead and chill out ready for the weekend, which I'm going to need at that point. It's a busy week this week for me. Anyway, thank you so much, you wonderful people. Is there anything you would like to add before we go now, Joe?
I think next week I want to run Space Wolves.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it I'm going to do it, seeing as I am the person that runs the army. I think I might bring Admech next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
brother. Oh.
Brother own.
Okay, well, there you go. Admech and Space Wolves next week as well, maybe. We'll have to go through add some factions. Right, thank you, you beautiful humans, for hanging out with us. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll see you this evening at 7:30. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, have a wonderful time.